Welcome back to Dunk in the Trunk. With this video, I just want to talk about 89 Fleer, starting with Bill Ripken error card, the history behind it that we know of, what probably happened. I want to talk about 89 Fleer as a whole, the set, why I feel it's still worth getting, and why the price is going up on the set itself. So, Bill Ripken, back in that time, photographers would come during batting practice, during regular games, all different times to take pictures for card companies to use on their cards. So, Fleer photographer happened to be there during batting practice. You notice the error card on the right has the expletive, the F face, Rick face, whatever you want to call it, error card, has the F face words put on the end of the bat. The reason that happened is they have a huge bat barrel that players just pull their bats out of during batting practice. A lot of them put their numbers or some identifying mark on them so they know what their bat is. You know, jokingly, kind of, he put that, easier to see, easier to find, grabs this bat. Well, at some point in time in the day, Fleer photographer says, "Hey, Mr. Ripken, let's take your picture." He turns around, they take the picture, move on with his day, everything's wonderful. Then the 89 cards come out, and we have a card with an expletive on it that becomes the biggest deal of that year. There are multiple versions of this card. You have the error card itself. There are no cards that have nothing on the end of the bat. So there's either the black box, like the card you see on the left. That one is the most common that you see. There's a scribble, there's a whiteout. So let me talk about value. So the F-face card used to be worth a lot. It's still worth a fair amount. You can buy it raw on eBay, usually for around $15 or so, which is really good for a card from this era. But your Ripken error card right now, in a PSA graded 10, you can get upwards of $150 for it. The whiteout version, where the whole end of the bat is essentially whited out, it looks like somebody took an eraser and just erased until the coloring was gone, can be worth up to $1,000 in a PSA 10. The scribble out can be worth up to about $90 in PSA 10, and the black box up to about $40. The black box is extremely common, and you probably won't even bring that much. But PSA 10 is difficult to get from cards from this era, so you get a little bit out of it. So how did this get through quality control? So let me ask you, if you pull cards and you collect cards, the chances of you missing that expletive when you're looking at those cards is close to zero, because you're really looking at cards, especially when you're first cracking those packs open. So a quality control person in 1989 missing that expletive is very, very unlikely. Now, that was also the first year for one major set that came out. And those of you who collected during the junk wax era will remember Ken Griffey Jr.'s rookie card in 89 Upper Deck. So everybody knew 89 Upper Deck was coming out. Everybody knew it was going to be the new awesome cards on great card stock, and it was going to flood the market, and people were going to buy it. So I think that Fleer let this error through, just like they let the Randy Johnson error through, in order to pump up their product and get people to buy Fleer. Because as soon as everybody knew this error existed, myself included, we went out and bought Fleer to try to get that error, corrections, get everything we could out of 89 Fleer. 89 Upper Deck still did well, but I'm pretty sure that the reason that F-face error exists is because Fleer wanted to get their name out there and wanted people to buy their cards, and they were scared with Upper Deck coming in, on year one of them producing cards was going to kind of kill the Fleer sales. But Fleer found a way to amp up their sales by letting one or two errors come through. So let's talk about the cards that are part of this set that are worth it. So you got Biggio rookie, PSA 10, about $15. So really not necessarily worth grading at this point. If you get the glossy, it's worth about $25 in a PSA 10. Randy Johnson, there is a green tint rookie card that can be worth up to $350 in PSA 10. The Marlboro ad up to $275 in PSA 10. There's one that's a partial Marlboro ad where you can still kind of see the Marlboro on the billboard behind him on the card. That can be worth up to about $40. And then the no ad, the totally corrected, you're looking at about $15 at a PSA 10. Once again, not really worth grading. Griffey Jr., PSA 10, it's only worth about $25. There's a ton of them. I have opened up many boxes of 89 Fleer over the years, and I've never not pulled one. Sorry about the double negative, but I always tend to pull a Griffey out of a box. And then Glossy, however, the Griffey, if you get it in a Fleer Glossy, it could be worth up to $1,000. Now, you got Sheffield's rookie. PSA 10, about $15. Glossy, about $40. John Schmaltz rookie, PSA 10, about $12. Glossy, about $25. Canseco, not rookie, but Canseco card, $12 for PSA 10. And then in Glossy PSA 10, you'd be looking at about $20. Same with Nolan Ryan, $12 and $20. Don Mattingly, $10 and $12. And then Ricky Henderson, you'd be looking at about $10 and $12. So there are a handful of cards that are worth at least getting in this set. And the reason I love it, I've loved it up to this point, is over the past few years I've bought several boxes, and I could find them for $10, $15 plus shipping. So usually I'm not investing any more than $20 to $25 total in a box. A lot of them, I even got less from that at different shows and stuff that I went to. But you could find the boxes at a reasonable price. And every box I went through, I always got at least a Randy Johnson, Biggio, a Griffey, a Ripken in whatever form, be it corrected or the F-face, Rick face error, Sheffield, Schmaltz, Canseco, Nolan Ryan, Mattingly, Henderson, all the cards I just kind of went through, I at least got one in every box I've ever opened. About half the boxes I opened, I got the error card, and the other half I got some form of a correction. So I looked at it as I enjoy going back to the junk wax era and ripping packs and smelling the old cardboard. And I also enjoy at least getting my money's worth out of it. And with what I was paying for boxes of 89 Fleer, I was getting my money's worth out of it because I pulled cards that could potentially get the value that I put into it, that I spent back to me. Which there's a lot of junk wax sets that will absolutely not do that have maybe one or two cards in them at the most that are worth $1 or more. Still don't mind ripping those because there's still a lot of good Hall of Famers and still other rookie cards of people that maybe are stars but not Hall of Famers. So I like the 89 Fleer. I like ripping it. I've had really good luck with it. However, I have noticed the price is going up. So I think supply and demand issue is starting to occur in the industry. There is still a lot of it out there, so you're still looking at $25, $30 a box. Your cello boxes cost a little bit more, but we're not seeing these things online at $10, $15 anymore like we used to. We're seeing them kind of start at the $20, $25, up into $30, $35, and cello boxes, some of them even more than that, up into the $40s and $50s, as the unbelievable amount of stock of these cards starts dwindling and people start realizing there aren't as many of these left. It's going to drive the prices up, but they're still reasonably priced, so I still recommend going out and ripping some 89 Fleer. Now you will see online they have certified boxes that are certified to come out of a case of the run where the Ripken error exists, where the Marlboro error exists. So you're more guaranteed to get one of those things if you pull that card. Those boxes go for a heck of a lot more when you have that guarantee attached to it and you know what print run it is. A lot of times, though, if you're just buying a box of cards, there's nothing on the box of cards that denotes the print run. It comes on the actual case that those boxes come in. So when you're ordering boxes of cards online, there's really no guarantee unless they're printing it and there's a return policy and all that. There's really no guarantee behind it. But I've been fairly lucky over the years. And these sets are also cheap enough that you don't get a ton of pack searching. I think I have received at least one box over the years that was searched. But I still got a lot of the rookies out of it, but it just felt like the way a lot of the cards were laying and stuff, that there was something off about the box. But I still got a lot of the stuff that I wanted out of it. So when it comes to 89 Fleer and junk wax in general, I'm all for ripping the packs. I Started collecting in the early 80s. I stopped when the industry said, holy crap, we printed so many of these cards, and all those sets I had worked on building because set building was huge when I was younger were now worthless. You know, they went from being worth between $100 and $200 a set to being worth $8, $10, $12 a set. So that hit me hard at that point in time, and I said, "To heck with it!" Sold off everything I had for next to nothing at that point, and I didn't get back into collecting until really a few years ago. And now what I do is I'm more focused in my collecting. I do vintage wax, looking for specific rookie cards, errors like this one we're talking about here, but I'm also PCing one baseball team and one football team. I'm a huge White Sox fan, so any White Sox cards I come across, I get. I deal a lot more in graded cards as well, and then I'm also a huge 49ers fan. So I've got Joe Montana's rookie, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, all the older vintage rookies of the people that I grew up watching. I shoot for those. A lot of that I don't get through pack ripping. A lot of it I get through selling off part of my collection to be able to order, one of those cards that is graded at least an 8. And I went over a little bit of the stuff that I have in my PC in a previous video if you want to check that out. But so that's the way I look at it. I am more focused on my collecting. I collect graded 49ers and White Sox rookie and star cards. And I have, like Ken Griffey Jr. is my favorite baseball player of all time. So I have a PC of just Ken Griffey Jr. and any numbered cards, autograph cards, things like that I pull, I tend to hang on to as well in my PC, just for longevity's sake. I think they'll be worth more money in the future. But a lot of the base stuff, when I pull a pack and I rip a pack, I grab what I need out of it. The other stuff, I'll sell it in a lot, get rid of it, give it to a kid, whatever. But I'm not bogged down in cards like I used to. I probably at one point in time had 500,000 cards in my collection. Over the past 7 to 10 years, I've sold off almost my entire collection and focused it down to the manageable PC that I have right now. So don't want to make this video too long. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the 89 Fleer baseball set and kind of why we have that Rick Face or F Face error card and the Randy Johnson Marlboro card, etc. And just to say that I really like the set itself, and I like ripping old packs of 89 Fleer. And if you ever have any questions or anything, throw a comment below, and I'll get back to you. So thank you for tuning in, Dunk in the Trunk, and we'll talk to you soon. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't. Hit the bell for notifications, and throw a like on this bad boy if you would. Appreciate you.